What do you think? What should we read? You don't like the long dead pause here?
No.
All right. Ready? You know what's awful is turning 45 and having to squint to see. It's not as fun as it thinks. All right, here it is. Ready?
Ready.
So you know what I'm going to read. Because I wanted to make sure it was in the book. Okay, so... Okay, where...
I need my
I
glasses.
really need glasses. Where the heck is she taking me? Where the heck has she already taken me? He muttered as he drove. He saw an old car, the one that had been parked in front of her aunt's house, and leaning against it, looking like a movie star, was Meili Moana. His heart leaped. I've never known a girl to make me nervous like this before. Perhaps it was the fact he loved her from afar all those years ago. Perhaps it was because she was formidable, not a woman you take lightly or for granted. What does that mean? It means she's a thou. She's not an it. The one and only thing he remembered from a philosophy class he took at NYU was a lesson about philosopher Martin Buber. Buber claimed that humans found meaningfulness in life through healthy relationships with the world around them, and that every relationship existed between a person and an it or a thou. An it was an object to be used like a tool, but a thou is something special, cut from the same cloth, equal, and to be valued and seen as the same, another person. Adam recalled the joke he made about all the its he'd like to bang, and it made him sick. Upon seeing Meili a few hundred yards away, he felt a lurch in his stomach. The memory of Buber and the joke and the parade of memories that marched through his mind of all the girls he used like its made him hot with shame and regret. He quickly pulled the car over and threw up. There was no hiding it. Meili watched. She ran towards his car and called out to him, Adam, are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I have no idea what just happened, but suddenly I had to pull over. He swished his mouth out with some bottled water. She handed him a piece of gum, which he popped into his mouth. Do you feel sick? Do you still want to hike? Perhaps it was the case of withdrawals. He had experienced it before. That would be the easy excuse. But Adam felt it was something much deeper, like something being forced out of his body, some nasty creature that had kept him in chains these past 8 years, which he had just vomited on the side of the road at the foot of a sleeping giant. Epic changes were taking place in Adam's heart and mind and body. Should we read one more? We should. But you pick it, though.
I don't know what to read. Just pick anything.
No, but you pick it. I think you can pick it.
Pick the part that he made you change for one word.
Which part did you make me change in a word? You made me change a lot of parts. I don't know. Here. Just read the funny cool part or something.
Which one?
Just pick
What's wrong?
something. There you go.
I mean, those are mine, so I don't know if those help at all.
Yeah. Sorry guys, bear with me here. We didn't. Next year we'll do this next time. We'll know.
You're getting the kinks out.
We're getting the This is like
Yeah, this is like our first.
This is our-
Excuse us.
literally. Here. You know what I'm gonna read? I know exactly what I'm gonna read. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so simple. It's so simple. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Prologue. It was supposed to be the perfect wave. Though most of her peers would never be good enough to be there, she was. Surfing the pipe, wrapped in a thick coil of water and counting the seconds in her head, was a dream come true. Although the waves she trained for weren't as high as the 12-foot swell she now faced, she knew about the shallow base and the razor blade reef. She was prepared. She raised her hands and lifted her head to the heavens in gratitude. Her balance was perfect. The roar of the tube, music to her ears. The clouds looked like angels, and the sun's light embraced her with grace. The cadence of her movements was marked with precision. Time was on her side. But it wasn't. The board's fins scraped loudly against coral just before she was catapulted into the air. With the leash still wrapped around her ankle, she did what she always did, dove head first to get under the wave, except there wasn't enough distance between her and the ocean floor. Her vision was blurred by a thick smog of sand when she hit the sandbank. Thick smog of sand when her head hit the sandbank. The weight of her shoulders kept her close to the ground. Boxfish fluttered about like birds with transparent little wings. And she watched as an eel burrowed itself under a rock. Sea anemones and corals glowed in indescribable colors, swaying gently in an imaginary breeze, keeping her calm and then making her sleepy. Her legs were suspended above her, her face the other way. Panic rose in her throat. When she tried to lift her head, she heard a snap. A dull, tingling feeling traveled through her body, starting at her chin, then moving down her neck into her shoulders. She froze except for her eyes, which followed the movement of the sand as it slowly drifted down like snow. Snow. She'd always hoped to see it one day. She fought hard to keep her eyes open, knowing the green hue of the ocean and the dizzying sand might be the last thing she'd ever see. All her life, she had lived in the ocean's majesty. She was an island girl, born and raised in paradise. Her fear quelled by that thought, Melee closed her eyes and allowed the darkness to take over. It was supposed to be the perfect wave, until it wasn't.
Ooh.